Shalom YouTube, this is your Ark. Yah is magnified. Coming back with another informative video. This video is titled, Ignorance of the Law is No Excuse. So with that being said, guys, let's get to it. But I'd like to state before I move forward, like always, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. And they are all facts. That's all they contain is facts. So with that being said, guys, let's move forward. As you guys can see on the screen, it says ignorantia juris non excusat. That's Latin. I'm not, fluent in Latin and stuff like that. So hopefully I said that right. If not, then you guys get the picture, you know what I mean? But it says ignorante juris non excusat, or ignorantia legis neminium excusat. Latin for ignorance of the law excuses not, and ignorance of the law excuses no one, respectively. So that means that, guys, ignorance of the law is no excuse. And by its no excuse of being ignorance of the law, then you guys must know what's going to happen prior to even getting into them courts. Because, they have certain contract that you guys entered into, and by your ignorance does not void that contract, because ignorance of the law is no excuse. So let's continue reading the definition though. It says, it's a legal principle holding that a person who is unaware of a law may not escape liability or violating the law merely because one was unaware of its contents. Okay? So again, for instance, you guys go in there and y'all sign we all in there, we all probably signed the paternity and some other information probably that they got us trapped by contracts. But we can't go in there, guys, and say that, well, because they didn't tell us that they didn't tell us the consequences of what was going on, that's no excuse. That's no excuse, because we still signed it, and we should have asked for any consequences. We should have inquired about those things. But by us not inquiring about them, and we still signed the contract, which bounds people by law, then that's no excuse. So again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Okay, but even with that being said, let's go somewhere else. Y'all know me, man. I deal with the scriptures a lot. So let's go to the scriptures and see what they say about ignorance of the law. Okay, guys. So this coming out of the scriptures. Y'all guys know how I do it. I bring the law with the law, and we're gonna keep it moving, because I know where they got their laws from. And if we know how to work in the laws of the scriptures, then you would most definitely know how to work in the laws of this land right here, also known as America. So with that being said, let's get on it. It says, and if the whole congregation of Israel sin through ignorance, and the thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done somewhat against any of the commandments of Yahuwah concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty. Okay? So because you sin through ignorance doesn't mean nothing, So because you broke a law, which is sin is the transgression of the law. You see? So instead of saying sin, they just changed the word to a crime. You see? So they replaced the word sin for crime. Because sin is the transgression of the law. So is crime. Crime is the transgression of the law. Okay, guys? So like I said, by you guys not having understanding of the law, and you signed them contracts, do not excuse you from that contract. Because ignorance of the law is no excuse. But let's continue. And if any one of the common people sin through ignorance, while he doeth somewhat against any of the commandments of Yahuwah concerning things which ought not to be done, and be guilty. So again, whenever you commit anything through ignorance, ignorance of the law is no excuse. You're still found what? Guilty. So you go in them courts if you want to, arguing, saying that, well, they never told me that. Okay, so what? What they got to do with it? You still signed it. You're still guilty. So go in there and argue if you want to. That's why I tell you guys. That's why y'all go in there in them courts, man, and lose. Plain and simple. You lose. You're found guilty. You lose and you got to pay. I'm trying to tell you people, you know what I mean? I'm trying to tell y'all, man, what to do and what not to do. But let's continue. And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of Yahuwah, though he wist it not, yet is he guilty, and shall bear his iniquities. Okay? So, because you are found guilty, even though you know it not, because of your ignorance, you gotta bear those iniquities. Be it though, you go to court and they arrest you for contempt or anything else, because of your ignorance, you gotta bear those iniquities. You hear me? But like I said, you can get out of any of all of that. Any of all of that. And I told y'all how to get rid of it. But let's continue. And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of the we, though he wist it not, yet he is guilty and shall bear his iniquities. So again, guys, how many times do scripture got to tell you? Through ignorance is no excuse. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. But let's go down to 47. And that servant which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not, meaning he that knew not the will of the master or his Lord, who knew the will of his master, and he knew not, but that still doesn't make him, free from that punishment too. He's still found guilty, because ignorance of the law is no excuse. But let's continue. And did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whosoever much is given, of him shall much be required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Okay, guys? So again, man, you can't go in these courts, man, and argue. Once you go in there and argue, especially you're going to argue the fact that you're trying to say that they never told you. But like I stated before, ignorance of the law is no excuse. And if you go in there and say, well, they never told me the consequences or the repercussions was going to happen because I signed these documents, they could care less about that, And anyways, how can you going to prove it that they never told you that? You see? It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So again, guys, ignorance of the law is no excuse, Like I said, man, I still got this testimony coming up, man. Got the guy off, he had 2 cases, both cases dismissed, on the same date. He gonna tell his story, when he ready, but I already got the information and everything. I seen his paperwork and everything. I'm just waiting for him to get ready. He want to go over a few things. So when he go over that, guys, he gonna come on here and he's gonna explain, his situation and how it went down for him. So look out for that, guys. I'm trying to tell you, look out for that. So what I tell y'all, guys, I tell y'all what I know, and I tell y'all what I know to be facts. You know what I mean? Facts and facts only, man. Like I said, well, if somebody went in there, let me know. I'm just trying to find out, man. If anybody went in there, man, they went in there and stated an argument saying that, they wasn't told that by signing that knowledge of paternity that it wouldn't work, then, and they got off by saying that, show me that proof, man, show me that proof. But besides that, I really doubt it, because I stated before, man, it's written in our law, us Israelites law, and it's written in this law of the land right here. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, man. So by your ignorance and you don't know any better, then hey, that's on you. Yeah. So he who wished to be deceived, let him be deceived. But that's because of your ignorance, you see? So you can't blame nobody but yourself. So with that being said, guys, y'all have a good day. Continue to fight. Like and subscribe, because, man, what I got coming, man, y'all gonna like this. Y'all gonna really like this, man. Y'all gonna like it. I told y'all, man, we here to change the game. We're gonna continue to change the game. We're gonna get good and positive outcomes from the situations that, that we're going through. You know what I mean? It's like I stated before, though. It's not an easy thing. Some people's situations are easier than others. So some people fights are not as hard as others. It depends on what stage of your fight that you're in and what you got to go through to get free. But that's neither here nor there, because we all get free. Like I stated before, we all continue to fight and stand on this truth of what we know. That's one thing about it, man. The truth, can't nobody deter the truth, because the truth gonna be the truth whether they believe it or not. So with that being said, guys, y'all be blessed. Shalom, YouTube.